I come before you today because this is serious. It has really gotten serious where these attacks on the U.S. Capitol and the attacks on state capitals all around America, these attacks and the spirit that these attacks are done in is enough caution that anyone that is concerned about life and decency as we know it, because we know that beyond this COVID-19, there's going to have to be some resettling of differences. We know that. And everything in America right now is teetering. It's teetering in America right now. And this racial explosion that the Most Honorable Minister Malcolm X, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and the Most Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and the Most Honorable Dr. Khalid Muhammad, the late Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, who is no longer here, have warned us for years prior to this, years to come, that we will get in this area. And you and I today now see that we're in this area. So it is no longer a matter of the ballot. And it's no longer a matter of securing the ballot for zealots. It's no longer the question of the ballot or the bullet. It's no longer the instruction of even bullet for bullet. But today, after we've seen what has happened in the capital, the nation's capital, where racist and religious zealots had broken in to take over, they came there to take prisoners. And they came there to damage everything that could possibly guide you and I for freedom, or every individual that was truly concerned for freedom, or anyone that is attached to the system that would guarantee pure freedom for the black man, and for any others that are suffering, such as the Hispanic over in the concentration camp that Donald Trump himself created, with a wide margin of approval from white constituents, racist white constituents. And we have to be honest, he got into office from many of those that believe in the philosophy of racism, which brings me to my next point. Black nationalism is not racism. Black nationalism is not about hate, and anyone that is truly honest with themselves will know this, that are truly honest with the political hypocrisy that is in America will know this, and that we don't block anyone for standing up for justice. If you're standing up for justice, we don't block that. However, we can't agree with anyone that is standing up for injustice. And so at that point, all of us are on the same level playing field where you're standing up for injustice. And we can all stand together in that. And I said that to say this to you, brothers and sisters. On February the 21st, February the 22nd, pardon me, on February the 22nd, I would like to take many of you with me as we go. We're merely meeting there. Go to the White House or go to the state capitol to meet with President Joe Biden, whichever place that we can properly meet with him. Go to the state capitol or either the White House so that we can meet with Joe Biden on February the 22nd, which is a Monday, to find out what he's going to do about this. This is not something that we can allow to pass. This is not something that is going to go away. And if there's been any time that black nationalists need to be organizing, we need to be organizing now. We need to be organizing today. We need to be organizing in light of what has happened. And we need questions. And the black brothers and sisters around America need questions. And we can't expect Jesse Jackson or Al Sharpton to ask these difficult questions, or even to do this difficult thing, which is to meet with the president, to meet there and demand that he have a discussion with us. The time has designated, pardon me, brothers and sisters, the time has designated and demanded that you and I, will go to the state capitol on February the 22nd and ask the president I'm asking you to go with me. I'm going, whether you go or not, because I want to know, and I believe that these answers should be publicized. I believe that the media should have full running media on these question and answer, and we should hear what the president and vice president are going to decide to do about Donald Trump. And we don't want it to take a year from now, and we don't even want it to take months from now. We want to know what he's going to do, and if he's going to use his executive privilege to contain this man, to stop him from traveling overseas to any other country where he could cause further damage, because at this point, we don't even know what's behind the coup. At this point, we don't know what's behind this coup. So we need to demand that we meet with President Joe Biden, and that we would meet with Vice President Kamala Harris and see what their plans are on this. And this is not something that we want to go away, brothers and sisters. We are in danger of a successful coup, and I believe that it's from 3, possibly 4 involvements from outside government. Russia being one. The next one being China, because we're at war with China, which is information that Donald Trump had not made directly privy to the American public, which is a violation of the Freedom of Information Act. Also, I believe that Iran is also involved in that coup. That these are the puppeteers of exactly what's going on, and his business ties with these governments and organizations is not a secret. It's not a secret. So we deserve to know. We deserve the right to know. And there may be a fourth. There may be a fourth. That if it come to some success, which I don't believe that this is over. I definitely don't believe this is over. That if there's a certain level of success, that Iraq would also be involved. So brothers and sisters, we have work to do. We have work to do as Americans. When I say brothers and sisters at this point, in this particular act, if you say that you're concerned about America and you're white, then you should be going up there with us to ask questions. Because we, as black nationalists, must rally, whether it be one of us or many of us, we must rally and ask questions. And at this point, the white man must be asking questions too. The white population must ask the same questions that the black nationalists are going to ask, and the same questions that I intend to receive when I go to the state capital, or rather the nation's capital, to talk with Mr. Joe Biden, or President Joe Biden, and also Ms. Kamala Harris, or Vice President Kamala Harris, in respect to their office. But we should know exactly what they're going to do. We have every right to know. Anytime you've involved yourself in the voters' progress, or anytime you've involved yourself in the legal system, voluntarily or involuntarily, because you've been involved as a citizen of the United States, as a taxpayer, you should want to know exactly what's going on. And it is within our rights to know exactly what's going on. And I said that to say this, that there's something happening in America, that we see it happening in front of us, but we don't know who's holding the strings. But we see the hands and feet moving. We see the head bobbing, but we don't know who's the puppet master of this aberration that we had in office for 4 years. And the damage that has been done has never been done by any president, to my knowledge, that has ever come in office. Has never been done. So this man was totally ill prepared, and had not the knowledge, nor the reserve, nor the sophistication to run that office. And in an already messed up situation, he has made it worse. And so now you got the directly, you got the American public in an upheaval, which is something that compromises. It already compromised. Anytime you have upheaval, it compromises the government that the upheaval is held in. So the instigator is the only winner in that case. And this is very important for us to know. You should be thinking about that. If you're truly concerned about freedom, you should be concerned about that. That should mean something to you if you're truly concerned about freedom. And so this is something that we should know, brothers and sisters, something that we must have answers to. We must be determined to have answers. We need to know exactly how far the federal government have gotten in this knowledge, and stop playing with us tiptoeing through the tulips. Stop being mealy-mouthed. We don't need anything to satisfy us. We don't need anything to make us giggle when nothing's funny, or to make us dance when there's no music, or to scratch our head when it's not itching. We don't need that. Today, what we need answers. And we need it from President Joe Biden. He's in the office now, and it's his job and his duty to give us answers. And we need to know exactly what he's going to do with Donald Trump, and also do with the organization of MAGA. And whether you know it or not, now you're looking at the Republican Party as it will be. They have transcended to exactly what they are. Exactly what they are. And there are some Democrats that are involved in it too. Not just the Republican. This coup d'etat, because it's exactly what it is, a coup d'etat. And this coup d'etat, there are Democrats involved as well. And we need to find out. And when you see the tape of these individuals going inside of the White House, when you see this, they'll welcome them in. The police have stepped back. They've welcomed them in. And they welcomed them in, and this is based on race. Based on race. You see, the majority of that movement, completely, 99% of it, was white. And the spirit of racism and the spirit of fear-mongering is what pushed them inside of the Capitol. But what was the purpose? Who was guiding them? Donald Trump. Who was guiding Donald Trump? And you have to know when something is beyond his capability. This action, this subversive action, this insurrection is beyond, to organize to that point, is beyond his capability. Someone is giving him orders, brothers and sisters. Someone is helping puppeteer this. We need to know exactly what's going on. I intend to know. I intend to go there. So on February the 22nd, that's a Monday, I believe, but February the 22nd nonetheless, at 12 o'clock p.m., I intend to be in D.C., back in D.C., as I'm on out of town on the speaking tour at this point. But on February the 22nd, 2021, that's this year, February the 22nd, 2021, I intend to be at the Capitol. I pray that the American people will go with me. We need to publicize this on media. And Joe Biden, President Joe Biden, in respect to his office, owe us an explanation for what's going on. We should know how far the federal government have gotten, what they're going to do. This is not something that should take years from now. These people should be held. For them to go back home in this condition, and for them to have investigation, now compromises all of America, because they will compromise every capital. And not only that, but since this is a racist move, then they'll be committing acts of racism. So I believe the plan is much, much bigger than they've been saying, or what they're talking about. Much, much bigger. And we cannot afford to just sit back and allow these things to happen, brothers and sisters. We have to be active and proactive on this thing that's going on. So we need the black nationalists, and also white Americans, concerned white Americans, non-racist white Americans, should come there to be seen, to come to make themselves known. And we'll be coming there at a legitimate concern. We're not going in to break into the Capitol. We're not going in to cause any insurrection. We want legitimate answers to these questions, and we should have answers to these questions as far as what is happening in America, what is just taking place, and what's going on. So I ask, at this point, anyone that's concerned about freedom, and anyone that is concerned about justice would meet me at the state capitol, and the address and all of that information is certainly given. Would meet me there. We pray that the media would publicize this. If not, our social media needs to do it. The social media need to do it. If you would like the letter, a copy of the letter that I've sent to President Joe Biden, and also Vice President Kamala Harris, you're welcome to that. That information, you're welcome to it, and I would gladly send it to you. I would gladly send it to you so that you'll be able to see exactly what I have. If there's even any social media sites, this is something that you should post. This is something that you should post, and we as Americans should be there and find out exactly what's going on, what they intend to do. And I pray My desire, my prayer is that they would do something about this. Because if not, then you'll have a race war on your hands for sure, and there will be a bloodbath for sure. That is a fact. It's not something that we can put off, because that was a first strike capability as far as the America's social system is concerned, or social networks. This was an act at the top level, and in the area of deductive reasoning, what you can do in the capital, the nation's capital, and what you can do in the state capital, which is going there to kill people. Their intent is to kill. And so now you got many proselytes, followers of this ill-fed logic of eugenics and white racism and white supremacy, that will go on a mass killing spree of brothers and sisters on the street. It's not something you can avoid. You should be organizing and right now in front of the state capitol, brothers and sisters. This is not something you can avoid. White people are not going to avoid it either. Any whites that's married to black people or got black children, or any whites that believe in helping black people or have a history of hanging around black people, you're in danger too. These angry and twisted and mentally disturbed white people that believe in racism are on a move to wipe out. On a move to wipe out anyone that's against racism. Anyone that's against racism. And that's a compromisation. That's going to compromise. That alone compromise America. So now we see where racism has literally got to the point, brothers and sisters. Has literally got to the point where it has tainted America to the point that other countries are using it against us. That's what's going on. That's what's happening. That's what you and I are involved in today. We're involved in a racial problem. And this problem of racism has literally overflowed to the point where it's being used against us by outside influence. And anyone with any kind of analytical brain can see this. Or anyone that has served time in the military on the basic level can see this. Not to mention those of us that have served in intelligence divisions and medical divisions can see this too. From a psychiatric side and also an intelligence side, you can see exactly what's going on. And if you search through history, you'll see that Greece and Rome have fallen from this. You'll see that the Catholic Church, who was over everything in the Roman Catholic Church, has also fallen from this when the English at that point had pulled out from them. So this is a reformation. What's happening now is a reformation, and it's the third Reconstruction period. The third Reconstruction period. So today, what you and I should have, we should have a committee on black nationalism inside of the Capitol. A committee for black nationalism, and there should be black nationalists or senators and representatives that are not going to pussyfoot around, but are going to handle these situations, such as Senator Cori Bush. Now, she should is a good person that fought alongside of us in Ferguson, Missouri, and have fought alongside of us in Missouri as a widespread, and have marched with many that have put her there, and she's a wonderful sister to be there. And I believe she should be an individual that should head that committee with the help of us on the outside and her on the inside, so that we could really, if we're really concerned about democracy and really concerned about civil rights, then we should be ready to do something about it. And I know that Senator and Sister Cori Bush will not sell us out. This sister won't sell us out, because she has a real concern for people, and she has been in danger on the front lines with us, and have put her life in danger with us. And we're very proud of that sister. I say to her, if she hear this or read it, I'm very proud of you, sister, for what you've done. I'm very proud of you, and I'm proud of you, and I pray the protection of God, Allah, over you, and continue to keep you safe. To continue to keep you safe. And it's a shame that after all of these years being in this country, a country that kidnapped us and brought us and put us in slavery, a country that put us in chains, a country that put us in oppression, a country that emancipated us and then put us in a deeper oppression after emancipation, because you freed the people that you had put in bondage, did not give them any money or any kind of economical substance for them to pull themselves up, and you set them out on themselves to die, literally. But when this didn't happen, because the slave was the one that was controlling the labor market, in the sense that they were doing free labor and learning as they went, so he began to outrun the white man. And then after that, after he set up systems for himself and set up organizations and stock markets and exchanges for himself, such as Tulsa, Oklahoma, such as areas in Alabama and Atlanta, Georgia, then you reintegrated with them to segregate him and to destroy these businesses. And then after that, you integrated socially to destroy his independence of what he could do for himself through the civil rights movement. Now they're talking about socialism. And it's the same group of people that is damaging this country. And that is the reason why you and I have to be concerned. And we have to go and find out some real answers. And the president owes us some real answers. This country, for all of those that were concerned, this country met an equivalent climate. In 1959, during the Kennedy and Nixon campaign. Kennedy initially ran as an independent. Then he began to run as a Democrat, and had the backing of black, brown, and yellow people and red people here, because he came up with a real plan where he was really going to do something to make some difference. We'd already been through it with the Republicans, who were lynching and killing us and things of that nature, and they haven't changed. And so we came over to the Democrats, and then there were some Democrats that began to lynch us and kill us and things of that nature. Many of them are doing, some of them are doing it today, but the majority of them in the legislative process seem to be trying to make some differences. So we threw the support behind John F. Kennedy, an individual that was going to actually do it, that had written up, had forced the bill, was going to do it by executive order, so that black people could be equivalent, could be free, could have true liberation and true equality. And what happened to him? November 23rd of 1963, they killed American president in broad daylight. They killed an American president. The climate had been set the same way that the climate is set now for assassination. The climate was set back then for assassination by white supremacists. And we don't find it strange that President Kennedy was killed in Texas. And that's the best hint that I can give you. So it says that someone on the inside was pulling the strings. Someone on the inside. And we have someone on the inside pulling the strings of this now. Someone on the inside is pulling these strings. Now, Kennedy was on his second campaign for inauguration. Johnson wasn't there with him. Normally, the president and vice president go together. That's another hint for you. So it's always someone on the inside that is connected, always. So now, after that, you had John F. Kennedy and Robert Kennedy had made some sense and had got into Minister Malcolm X. They're talking about true justice, true freedom, so that Malcolm X and Dr. Martin Luther King were working together. So now, after the death of John F. Kennedy, you got Robert F. Kennedy, you have Minister Malcolm X, and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. that are working together behind the scenes. Because at this point, their eyes are wide open. What happens? You go to the next stronger influence. First, in order to add insult to injury, you killed the president of the United States. The people that were in charge of this coup killed the president of the United States. Then you attack a man for making a comment. It was all set up. You set him up. So you put him in a place where he will make a comment toward the situation of the climate that had been created. And that ignites both black and white side, because you created problems. Those that are controlling the coup created problems within the Nation of Islam and among black Muslims, and also created problems within the black and white climate of black and white Americans. So you confuse the people and create a climate of contingency. But you hid behind the organization that had nothing to do with Minister Malcolm's death. Nothing at all to do with his death. But you hid and made it apparent. So Malcolm X is dead. The same puppet master looks and he sees Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. His philosophy had changed. We need a more broader and aggressive form of liberation and freedom for our people that's going to do something. And the king that you see in 1968 is not the king that started out in 1955 or the king that they had discovered in 1953. They're different. And so this individual was talking about Resurrection City in 1968. He's singing we shall overcome, but he really means it. So he's talking Resurrection City at that point. That's the name of the project. They're going back to Washington. They're going to camp out on state grounds, and rather camp out on the national grounds of the Capitol. And they didn't want that. D.C. didn't want that, even though they had so much poverty around them, around the Capitol. That was evident that they were not doing anything. I had no intentions to do anything. So then after that, when you killed Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., his focus had changed. He began to ridicule the Vietnam War and all the money you were spending on it, which you could have given it to black people then and gotten them out. Could have gotten them out. So, brothers and sisters, this is the thing that we should be concerned about. February the 22nd, 2021, at 12 o'clock, we should be asking Biden. We should be there in front of the White House, in front of the Capitol, asking Joe Biden what's going on, what he intends to do. Last thing I want to say to you is in June of 1968, then they killed Robert Kennedy, who was concerned about the same issues his brother was, the same issues that Minister Malcolm and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was concerned about, and they killed him in 1968. So that should tell you exactly what happened. It took 4 lives of people who really wanted to make a difference. We should have answers, brothers and sisters. Let's not make the same mistake that we made before, but get in front of the media and ask the questions of what are their intentions. February the 22nd, 2021, at 12 o'clock, to be in front of the nation capital. And if you need a letter that I've sent to the president, then you can get a copy of that letter. And this letter, we should be sending it to the media, the social media, and handling it ourselves first, because we know the media is bought and paid for too, on many aspects. So this is something that we're going to have to do as Americans. Black, white, and whatever else, red, yellow, whatever else American you are. If you're concerned about true freedom and true democracy and true justice, then you will come with us to meet us there to ask the president these questions before the media in public, so that we can have an answer for what is going to be done and have some say. Thank you, brothers and sisters. I appreciate you, and I hope that this message will get out among many others. Thank you very much. And salam alaikum.